Hi and welcome to my channel and my new video. And if you are into watch related content, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Over here we have the Gshock GA-2100. I'm gonna run step by step through the detailed how-to tutorial video on this watch. Steps are in the description of the video if you wanna jump through them. So let's get started. Before running through the functions of this watch, I'm going to show you a cool feature that this watch has, and that is the moving the hands out of the way. So by pressing the light and after that the mode button, you will hear the double beep and the watch hands will move out of the way. Moving the hands out of the way will make it much easier for you to do all of the settings of the watch. And one indicator besides that the hands are out of the way or aligned somewhere on the dial where it doesn't bother the digital display is this little dot on this part of the screen over here, which is currently blinking. So H and D indicating that the hands are out of the way. I'm gonna fast scroll through the watch modes. So let's go. You have the world time, you have the stopwatch, you have the countdown timer, and you have the alarm mode. Pressing it once again, higher pitch of the sound gets us to the standard timekeeping mode. You can also change the representation of this date over here. The lower part will always indicate the seconds, but currently, as you can see, the upper part, which is divided by this line over here, is showing the time digitally. So you have the digital time over here and the analog time over here. By pressing the start button, you can shift between the date representation and the time displayed. What are watch screen indicators? Let me show you this image because it's much easier for you to understand. So we have number one, it is the split indicator, and it's indicated over here. You have number two, the PM indicator. Number three is the hands shifted indicator. That's the hands out of the way, which I talked to you about previously. You have number four, the DST or the daylight saving time mode indicator. Number five is the mute indicator. Number six is the alarm on indicator, and number seven is the hourly time signal on indicator. Moving on to the further explanation of how this watch works. And I'm gonna start off with the first of function in the row of modes of this watch, and that is the world time function. So I press the mode button once, so I'm currently in the world time mode. Currently, or for a brief time, over here you saw what city code or which city is this watch currently in. So by pressing the start button, you can shift between the time zones, and the time zones will correspond to the time in that time zone. Since this is a automatically watch with the automatic calendar, all of the time zones are synchronized. So when you synchronize your home city, all of the other time zones are updated automatically. So you can shift using this button to a city codes which are available on this watch. So basically you can see what's the time in every time zone in the world. You can use the world time modes to view the 31 time zones or 48 cities around the world. Now, how you can specify even if that time in that second time zone has the DST or the daylight saving time mode indicated over here. I don't know why the phone isn't, but there it is. So how to set the daylight saving time mode in the other time zone? That's done by pressing and holding the adjust button for 2 seconds, and you can see that it beeped. So currently we have turned the daylight saving time mode in the Sydney on, and it's indicated on the dot over here. Let me see if you can see it. There it is. That's a little dot on the DST. So currently we have turned the DST in the Sydney on. To turn it off, simply press and hold the adjust button, and you have shifted back to the standard timekeeping mode in your secondary time zone. That would be the basics of a world time mode on this watch. Using the stopwatch, the stopwatch measures the elapsed time, split times, and two finishes. The stopwatch measures the elapsed time in units of 1/100th of a second for the first hour, and in 1 second units after that for up to 24 hours in total. After that, the elapsed time reverts to 0 and then it stops. What are these the indicators? First of all, let's get to the stopwatch mode. By pressing the mode button twice, you enter the stopwatch mode. The STW was indicated briefly on this screen over here. So over here in the lower row, two zeros indicate the 1/100th of a second. Upper first to the left two row of zeros indicate the minutes, and over here these are the seconds. How to perform the elapsed time operation? Press the start button to start the stopwatch, press the same button to stop, same button to resume, stop again, and the adjust button to reset the value. How to pause at a split time? First of all, start, press the adjust button, split, the SPL is indicated on the screen over here. Upper left one, the adjust to split release, start button to stop it, and adjust button to reset the value. How to measure the two finishes? Start button to start it, press the adjust button to split it. First runner finishes, the display time of first runner. So pressing the start button, SPL is displayed. Second runner finishes, adjust button, split release, display time of the second runner, and pressing the adjust button once again will reset the value. Those would be the basics of a stopwatch mode on this watch. The countdown timer. The countdown timer start time can be set in 1 second increments up to maximum of 24 hours. An alarm sounds when the countdown time reaches 0. To enter the countdown timer mode, press the mode button. So once, twice, 3 times, and we have entered the countdown timer mode. Over here, the lower row of zeros indicates the seconds. The 1 0 over here indicates the hours, and number 10, which is currently number 10, but it can be anything you want, indicates the minutes. So how to set the value of the countdown timer? Press and hold the adjust button until set appears and you hear the beep, and you have the hour value flashing. So currently we are in the mode of setting the hour value to count down. Pressing the light and start button will increase or decrease that value. So by pressing these two buttons, you can increase those values. I'm gonna leave it at 0. Once you wanna move to setting the minutes value, press the mode button once, and flashing shuffles to minutes. Procedure is exactly the same. So pressing the light or the start button, you can increase or decrease the value of minutes. Next, press the mode button, gets us to setting the seconds value. Again, you can increase or decrease the value by pressing the light and the start button. So here we go. Procedure is very simple. So I'm gonna leave it at factory 10 minutes of time, so to count down. To apply the settings, simply press the adjust button once, and the settings will be implemented. So basically we have now set the time that we want to count down. How to perform a countdown timer operation? Press the start button and the counting down begins. Press the same button to stop the value. Again, same button to resume, same button to stop, and the adjust button to reset the value. Those are the basics of the countdown timer on the GA-2100. Using the alarm mode or the alarm on this watch, you can set 5 independent daily alarms. When a daily alarm is turned on, an alarm tone will sound for about 10 seconds each day when the time in the timekeeping mode reaches the preset alarm time. You can also turn on the hourly time signal, which will cause the watch to beep twice every hour on the hour. How to enter the alarm mode on this watch? Press the mode button once, twice, 3 times, and pressing it for the 4th time will get us to the alarm mode. So over here, briefly, you have shown the alarm number was shown. So it was shown alarm number 1, AL1, and over here you have the alarm time. So you have the hours and the minutes value. How to shuffle between the alarms on this watch? By pressing the start button, you can shuffle between the 5 alarms. So each press of the button shuffles to the alarm's value. How to turn on individual alarm? Let's say alarm number 1. That's done by pressing the adjust button, and the alarm number 1 is turned on. And you have it indicated over here. It says on, and the line between the ALM is lit, so you know the alarm number 1 is turned on. I'm gonna turn it off because I'm gonna show you a procedure how to set that alarm. How to set the alarm? So let's say we want to set the alarm number, I don't know, number 3. Press and hold the adjust button, and you heard the beep. The first zero starts to flash, which means that we are in the mode of setting the hour value of our alarm time. By pressing the light and the start button, not simultaneously but individually, will increase or decrease the value of our alarm. Let's say we want to get it to 12 o'clock. So next press of the mode button shuffles flashing to the second row of zeros, which are actually the minutes, and now you can use the light or the start button to increase or decrease the value of minutes. You have it over here. I'm gonna leave it at 12 o'clock. Once you have done with setting your alarm time, to exit the settings, simply press the adjust button once, and the alarm time will be set, and it will automatically also be turned on. To turn it off, again press the adjust button, and alarm number 3 is now turned off. How to turn on the hourly time signal? So let's shuffle to the hourly time signal. Remember that we are still in the alarm mode. So by pressing the start button, we get to a signal. You have it. You did have it indicated over here briefly. Press the adjust button. You have the hourly time signal turned on. Press it once again. It will turn it off. That would be the basics of the alarm mode and the hourly time signal mode on this watch. So first of all, your watch has to be in the standard timekeeping mode. You have your time counting over here, and your analog hands show the correct time. To proceed with the settings, simply press and hold the adjust button until set appears on this digital screen and you hear the beep. When you hear the beep, release this button. So here we go. Here we heard the beep, and we are in the mode of setting the watch settings. First in a row of settings is setting our current time zone. Currently over here, we see that the Paris time zone is indicated on this digital subdial. To shuffle between the time zones, press the start button. So you will shuffle between the corresponding time to the corresponding time zone. So pressing this button and this button will shuffle between those time zones. So you get the principle. My time zone is Paris time zone. Once I found my time zone, simply press the mode button once again, and we are in the mode of selecting the daylight saving time mode. Is it on or off? Currently we see that it's blinking off, which means that the DST is turned off. To turn it on, simply press the start button and you can turn it on. Press it again and you will turn it off. Next press of the mode button gets us to setting the 24 or 12-hour time format. And you can shuffle between the 24 and 12-hour time format by pressing the start button. I'm pressing the start button, so I'm shuffling between those two of those modes. I'm gonna leave it at 24-hour time format. Next press of the mode button gets us to setting the seconds value. Now you cannot set the exact value of seconds, but what you can do is reset that value by pressing the start button over here. So when I press it, the seconds will reset to 0. Next press of the mode button gets us to setting the hour value. Now our value is 23 since we have set it to 24-hour time format. But to increase or decrease that value, press the light and the start button. So pressing the start button decreases and pressing the start button will increase the value. Once we have done with the settings of hour value, press the mode button once again and you enter the setting of minutes value. The procedure is exactly the same. Pressing the light or the start button will increase or decrease the value of minutes which are blinking currently over here. Next press of the mode button gets us to setting the year value. Procedure is the same. Pressing the light button or the start button will increase or decrease the value of years. So pressing the light button will decrease the value and start button to increase the value of years. Next press of the mode button gets us to setting the month value. So currently it's set to December, so it's correct. But pressing the light button or the start button will increase or decrease that value. I'm gonna leave it at December. Next press of the mode button gets us to setting the day value. So it's 11th today. No, 17th, sorry. This digital display is somewhat hard, sometimes hard to read, but you get the principle. By pressing the light or the start button again will increase or decrease that value. Once we are done with setting the day value, we press the mode button once again and we enter the button operation tone. So the key over here stands that the button operation tone is turned on. When you want to turn it off, press the start button and it will indicate mute on this subdial over here. This means that the button operation tone is turned off and you will have a line over here above the mute on this on the dial, which indicates that the tones of the watch are muted. So pressing the start button again, I will turn on the button operation tone on. Next press of the mode button gets us to the illumination duration. So currently it sets a light and it indicates 1. The 1 stands for the 1.5 second of duration of light when I press the light button. But when I press the start button, I'm gonna shift it to 3, and that 3 indicates that the light will stay on when I press the light button for 3 seconds. Again, I'm gonna press the start button, return it to 1, so I want my light to be on for 1.5 seconds. And once we are done with that, press the mode button once again, and we are back to the beginning and setting our time zone. So basically we have run through the procedures of watch setting tutorial for this watch, the GA-2100. Once you're done with all of your settings and you have cycled through all of them, and you want to implement all of those settings, simply press the adjust button once and the watch will implement all of those previously set settings. Adjusting hand positions. The watch hands can go out of the alignment with the time on the digital display if it's exposed to a strong magnetism or impact. If this happens, you should adjust the hand positions. So how to do that? Well, let's go through the operations step by step. In the standard timekeeping mode, and we are currently in the standard timekeeping mode, press and hold the adjust button, but for 5 seconds until the sub is indicated on this screen over here. So First of all, let's press the button, press and hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, release. So you saw me skip to the part where the watch expected me to set the settings of the watch, and I still pressed and hold the adjust button until the sub indicated, and you heard the watch beep for the second time, and that's when I released that button. So currently we are in the position to set our hands. First in a row of settings is setting our day of the week hand. That is this hand through the 9 o'clock. If the day of the week hand is not pointed at the SUE, so Sunday, you should use the light or start button to move it left or right. So let's go. Currently you can see it moving just a little bit when I press one of those two buttons, but I'm gonna leave it at Sunday. So that is correct, I believe. Yes, it is. So we have set our hand for the day of the week correctly. How to move to the hour and minute hand alignment. Whilst you're in that position to set your hands, press the mode button once, and this causes two zeros to flash to indicate that we are in the hour and minute hand adjustment. If the hour and minute hands are not at 12 o'clock, use a light or the start button to move them left or right. So by pressing one of those two buttons, you can move the hands to the correct positions. Once we have set all of our values or the watch hands, simply pressing the adjust button will return us to the standard timekeeping mode, and the watch hands should be aligned correctly. That would be another detailed how-to tutorial video on my channel, this time on the Gshock GA-2100. If you are into watch related content and like watches, please subscribe to my channel. So thank you.